YouTube! I am Penstar, and this is Oxygen Not Included Strategy and Tactics, Episode 6. So today we continue and will conclude our construction of our little electrolyzer after a little bit of a detour and an oops or two. Cancel wires. Can't believe I goofed like that. So an Atmos switch is this. This will toggle power on and off depending on atmospheric pressure, and these things are damn useful. Damn useful. We are going to put the other Atmos switch over here. We have two of them to use, which is why I was futzing around with the power here. But of course everyone's futzing with that. Oh, hey! Harvest, harvest. Waste not, want not, and what have you. Oh, and it's a good yield for free. Nice. All right, so let's prioritize this stuff up here. Got the gas vent built. What is our temperature like over here? 21.8? That's not too bad. It'll get better once we start cycling in more water. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get some actual power here. So we want the electrical wire to go through the Atmos switch first. So that way the Atmos switch will continue, contain that and turn it on and off when necessary, depending on the needs of the pressure. These two... Trying to think of the best way to route this. I'm going to have to use a wire bridge here. Or not. Maybe not. Yeah, we don't have to use a wire bridge. Just be kind of roundabout here. And then this goes over here. And that this Atmos switch will regulate these two pumps. But first we gotta rebuild all this stuff. And hey, while we're at it, we could probably get this corner tile built out properly. We might as well... I'm not going to high priority this, but we might as well extend the ladder down a little bit, just for consistency's sake. Yeah, a lot of construction needed for these. Plop! Yeah, a lot of heat generated in here, just because of a lot of dupes and all this building and such. We're bringing in warmer materials, but we hopefully shall be taming that heat down a little bit. Yeah, for some reason the Atmos switches themselves take a while to build. Yeah, you guys keep on keeping on there. Okay, now we can restore that. We can go back to deconstructing buildings. Nice that we're just making a perfect seal against the water here. And yeah, I know this place is filling up with carbon dioxide just because of all the people in there, but that's okay. Still need that one built. How are we doing up here? Not bad, not bad. This ice is all starting to melt. But we've got plenty of pit room here. Oh yeah, so we dug that out. We can make this. There we go. Oh, mummins. You so silly. Let's finish that up, people. Please. Please and thank you. Please do not forget about that lonely tile. Thank you. Because now we can deconstruct these 2 bits of ladder and finally get stuff put back in place. Alright. We would have probably finished everything by the end of cycle 20 had I not made that little goof up. Get that, and the electrolyzer here. We've already got the power and the water hookups built for it, so it's what the heck was that? Seriously, what was that? I didn't catch what that alarm was. It's certainly not a food alarm. It's not a stress alarm. It's not an attacking hatch alarm. Get those things built in a timely manner, s'il play. Oh yeah, we also need to get our air pump. Alright, we'll probably, yeah, we'll have everything finished on cycle 20. Okay, actually, while people are asleep here, let's configure all of our bells and whistles here. So what are Atmos switches? Atmos switches will act as, they're sort of like these. They're like these power switches. The difference is that they activate or deactivate automatically based on a condition you define. So if the current pressure is above or below a certain gas level, then turn it on or turn it off. What I'm going to do is if it's above... It's above 500 grams. Here's the reason. These gas pumps pump at a rate of 500 per second, which means that if oxygen has concentrated here densely enough to be at least 500, then presumably the oxygen back here is probably just as dense, if not more dense. So it will key these on, and then when the air down here is too thin, it'll turn them off to save power. Likewise, up here, we want the same thing. We only want this hydrogen pump operating when the hydrogen gas up here is at concentrations of 500 or more. Or 501.9. It's not exact, but yeah. Now, these two pumps will each pump out 500 grams per second of oxygen. Consequently, 1,000 grams per second is what can fit in the gas pipe. So these two will perfectly fill the mainline gas pipe here. Now, we want to distribute this oxygen to our base, but if we just leave it to chance, it might build up in one area and have all the oxygen go to one place, and then the other place will be deprived of oxygen. So what these do here is this limits the flow through here. Like, I don't want any more than, let's say, 250 grams a second of oxygen coming out that vent here. And since this one has 2 vents attached to it, I don't want any more than, let's say, 400 grams per second. And then whatever's left over, would presumably will be pressurized, will get pushed out to here. Now, I can build more valves and adjust their pressure as I expand my base and need to distribute my oxygen elsewhere. As to why I'm not building any vents over here, we don't need them. Why? Because some of the oxygen is naturally going to vent out from here. You see, like I said before, these 2 electrolyzers will combined produce 2,000 grams per second of gas. Each of these pumps can get 500 grams per second. There's only 3 pumps, but that means there's going to be an extra 500 grams per second generated, mostly of oxygen, that will just naturally flow out here. That's the reason for these gas permeable tiles, and that's the reason for this pneumatic door, which gas can pass through. Also, the reason why I went with just these 3 gas pumps plus 2 electrolyzers is this circuit, if everything was turned on at the same time, would be 960 watts, which is just under the capacity limit of the electrical wire. So we don't need to fart around with transformers or heavy watt wire. The hydrogen is also going to get pumped down to here, and this plus this will power this whole setup. And mostly this will just help top it off. So it's not even going to be a drain on our existing electrical supply. So that's the method behind my madness here. And in a very short time, we will see it up in action here. Now, at the very beginning, it's going to be a little bit rough because we're going to be pumping out not hydrogen and sending it to the hydrogen producer. That's going to cause it damage. But once this area gets filtered out all the non-hydrogen up here, then it'll stabilize. I guess I should probably put a gas permeable right here. Oop, all right, we're getting some semblance here. And yeah, this Atmo switch is not active right now because the pressure is too low. And these things will just key on whenever they can. And now we're going to start getting more and more water flowing through here. And yeah, see, we just hit the limit down here. And yeah, we're running short on oxygen here, but soon we will be having beautiful, clean oxygen distributed throughout the base. And yeah, this is starting to get more and more dense. And eventually, yeah, that will key on there. Now, like I said, it's going to take wrong element damage while we get rid of all of the oxygen that was previously up here. That's okay. We'll just have somebody fix it. But once all the oxygen bubbles get pumped out of here, then it'll just be pure hydrogen. And look at this thing go. It's lower concentrations now, but give it time. Give it time. Let it do its magic here. Now, here's the other trick to this whole thing, and the reason why I bothered with this pipe radiator here. We look at our temperature here. So look at the heat here, and look at the cool over here. the electrolyzers here will naturally spit out oxygen at 60 degrees Celsius. That's freaking hot. I mean, it's not going to melt anything, but it's still freaking hot. But by having the wolframite pipes with the with the colder water in here, it is going to cool down the air before it makes it to the pumps here. So the air that's pumped out, let's check the gas, is at a 28.6, which is not bad. That's not bad at all. I'm not going to worry about heat death there. And yeah, now that we've done that, we are working off of a pure hydrogen here. We've got this working here. Battery threshold. Batteries are full. I don't even know why they were running the hamster wheel here. But yeah, this keeps this whole setup powered. And yeah, these things do occasionally hit max pressure. But it still works out quite nicely. I might make well, I don't want hydrogen pollution in the base, which is why I still have this as a solid wall. But if you can see here, we've got gas flowing over here. This is at max pressure. These are at max pressure. Why aren't you? Oh, because that's not done being built. That's why nothing's going up there. And so, that being said, we can finally get rid of this damn thing. Hey, look at that. Ideal. It even has like a little like, you know, like Vegas slots chime going. And yeah, so this is the last harvest here, so they'll start replanting these as needed, and we've got plenty of mealwood seeds. Yep, drop 2 mealwood seeds, so we place it there, and we'll up the prioritization here. That way we can get the we can get a load of fertilizer in there for the first harvest, and also get them all replanted, and then get them all replanted and get them all with a 1 round of fertilizer, and then we'll turn them back down to. Oh yeah, let's sweep this area. Now that we are not on mission critical everything now. Okay. 50,000 kilocalories. Our thing is working at full click here. And yeah, this doesn't always provide enough hydrogen gas here. I mean, it gets what it can. It gets what it can here. Oh, why is that 0? It needs to be above 500. Yeah, I was about to say, you need to stop working there, because that's just burning energy. That's why we have these Atmos switches, to turn them off. Alright. How are we doing over here? Not bad. Okay, so we finished with 1,620 algae left. A little close for comfort. Not a piece of polluted oxygen. That is a piece of polluted oxygen. I knew it. I knew it! We gotta get a deodorizer over here to prevent additional farts from coming out. I mean, one waft of polluted oxygen isn't gonna kill us. And we got some idlers. So, it is time to expand. It's time to expand. We want even more farms. We want sleet wheat farms. We also want to, well, sort of tame this whole area here. And just because we've got our electrolyzers set up here, that does not mean that our use for algae has stopped. It is just merely transformed. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to dig all of that out. Yeah, we'll get some harvests going there. But what we're going to do here is we're going to build that algae deodorizer, deoxidizer rather. We're going to build it all the way over here. And we're going to get an electrical wire. And we might as well run it through here. This is the ice biome. We're not making things pretty. Ooh, more weeseworts. Lovely. Basically, we need to make this area a habitable environment for our dupes to work in. So in order to do that, we need to replace all of this carbon dioxide with oxygen. And now I'm not too scared about burning up our algae to do it because I know I've got our main base. If we run out of algae, our dupes are not going to suffocate because we've got this beauty right here. Oh yeah, we can get rid of our blueprint. We can also go back to research here. Let's see. Filtration is a possibility. Actually, filtration would be good. Because that way we can start tapping into this slime and making proper use of it. Oh, we somehow have another blossom seed? And yeah, at this point, we're just going to keep this switch permanently on. Oh. Alright, let's check our air. Nice and full. Full. Yeah, it's a little less so there, but look at all of this. All of this. Nice, saturated, dense air. And that, my friends, is how you construct an electrolyzer set up here. And yeah, we occasionally need to tap it. We need to occasionally top it off with a hamster wheel here. But it doesn't require it's not like it requires like 5 dupes running on hamster wheels here. But yeah, that's the other thing. Instead of doing art things here, just because it's set up for it, we should get another shower here. We'll get a liquid pipe up here. And actually what I'll do here is put that there. And that way it has sort of a 50-50 split. That'll help distribute this to the other side, especially with more stuff here. And how's our temperature here? Let's continue. All right, we're starting to heat up here a little bit. That's a little concerning. Yeah, we're pumping out gas at this much. I might have to set up a thermal regulator to cool it down a little bit further. I was hoping to avoid that, But if I have to, I will, because I don't want to cook my base. The other alternative is to get colder water going through this going through these pipes, which I have ideas on how to do. But that will be a setup for a future episode here. Alright, looks like we've got 2 showers up and running now, so we should have plenty of people being able to get nice and clean. And yeah, I should probably just deconstruct this one tile right here so it can have maximum output. You quit sucking water from this pool. Yes, we will have ways of we will have a means of replenishing this rather critical pool here. Trust me, I promise. Alright, what's our temps in here? It's still nice and cold. That's good. Mop this little tiny bit here so people aren't complaining about it. Oh yeah, let's go back to priority 1 so you guys don't constantly deliver fertilizer to them. Alright, excellent. The biodistiller and the fertilizer maker. Both extremely important items here. I'll hold off on doing more stuff until... Well, actually, hang on. Oh, hey! We got our first Bristol Blossom. Good yield, too! Now, granted, the good yield with the Bristol Blossoms, the whether or not a yield is good or not only really matters for the final harvest, because that's the only time it can drop a seed. But hey, we're getting the goods. We're getting some higher quality food going here. So the kilocalories keep flowing in. Yeah, I know. It's gonna, as we break the ice, it's gonna start. All right. Saw that in the box? Saw that. All right. All right, we are going to need to do some post-op air conditioning soon, because I do not. It's not cooling the air quite as efficiently as I would hoped it to have. So we either need to cool the water more aggressively or cool the air more aggressively. And you know what? We could probably do a little both. I'll show you what I mean soon enough in our next episode, anyway. But first, I want to get this area transferring. I want to get the oxygen flowing up here, and I want to basically, yeah, it's going to take a long time to fill all this, and this is going to be a lot of carbon dioxide to come down here. It might be too much. We might need to tame it. Hey, free good yield, that works for me. If it ends up being too much, we have a couple of different ways of dealing with that. They must be on the edge of being idle here. Yep, that's why they're doing the priority 1 stuff. But, there's so much over here to do. Yeah, once we clean all of that up, I think what I'll do to prevent the polluted... Well, that's polluted ice will create water anyway. Yeah, I know. Stepping in freezing, wet, polluted water, not usually good for the health there. But hey, at least they're picking up the sleet wheat grains. Now we can make use of those, but we're going to be planting them. So I'm not actually going to be cooking with them yet. And yeah, this last little bit's going to be a bit of a slog. What's the density? It's getting pretty dense down here. We might need to start treating it, or as I was thinking, well, this is a lot of, holy crap. Look at the density on this polluted oxygen. It might not be safe to tap into this down here. Because that is a lot of freaking 6.5 kilograms of polluted oxygen held off by a wall of oxygen up here. Look at this barrier here. Jeez. Okay, so dropping it down here, probably not good, because we're going to get a metric F-ton of polluted oxygen bubbling up that no air deodorizer is going to be able to hold up to the might of that. Okay, so this is going to start pumping out oxygen into, well, this whole chamber here. While all this carbon dioxide is going to be looking for a place to get the heck out of here. And after filling up this area and this area, it's probably going to make its way down here, which is actually what I want to happen. One thing I do want to do here, so we're not getting tons of polluted oxygen here, is have everyone mop, clean up all this yuck. In before somebody gets frostbite. Alright, get out of there, guys. And yes, that is a thing that people can get, frostbite. Alright, so I think that we can call that project done. Base done? Hell no! We got more to research. Let's go medbay, because those mesh tiles I was raving about earlier. And then we can finally get to temperature modulation, which actually is going to has the hydrofan that we're going to want. And go from there. So, if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button. Oh, let's wait for the end of the cycle here. Hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya. Gotta cool it down a little bit more. A little bit more. They give people stuff to do. Well, that's a lost cause. We'll just leave it. A steam geyser. Guys. A steam geyser. A steam geyser.